The Devil's Den, a tale of possession. In the heart of the dense woods stood an ancient, dilapidated mansion known as the Devil's Den. For generations, it had remained abandoned and isolated, harboring a dark secret that sent shivers down the spines of the locals. The stories whispered in hushed tones spoke of an evil presence that dwelled within, an entity hungry for souls. The mansion was a decaying relic of an ominous past, its grandeur reduced to rotting walls and broken windows. The overgrown vegetation surrounding it seemed to recoil from the evil that emanated within. Only the bravest dared venture near, and even fewer had the audacity to enter. Among those drawn to its eerie allure was a young, curious journalist named Emily. Her insatiable thirst for unraveling mysteries had led her to the legend of the Devil's Den. Ignoring the warnings of the townsfolk, she arrived at the mansion with her camera, determined to document the truth and prove to the world that the paranormal was more than just myths. As Emily crossed the threshold, the air thickened, and a cold shiver slithered down her spine. Unfazed, she pressed on, documenting every creak and groan of the ancient structure. But it wasn't long before she began to feel a malevolent presence watching her every move. Night fell, and darkness engulfed the mansion. Emily set up her equipment, ready to capture any supernatural activity that might occur. Little did she know that she had awoken the dormant entity within the walls of the Devil's Den. A soft whisper echoed through the corridors, and Emily felt a ghostly breath on her neck. She turned, but there was no one there. Fear gnawed at her, but she couldn't let it hinder her quest for the truth. As she reviewed the footage from her camera, Emily noticed faint, shadowy figures lurking in the corners of each frame. The more she observed, the more apparent it became that something malevolent was trying to communicate with her through the recordings. Night after night, Emily returned to the Devil's Den, obsessed with documenting the entity's presence. But as her investigation deepened, so did the darkness within her soul. The entity, sensing her vulnerability, began to prey upon her fears, tormenting her in her dreams. Emily's once bright eyes grew hollow, and sleep eluded her. Her once warm laughter turned into haunting echoes of dread. Her friends and family pleaded with her to abandon the investigation, but she was already ensnared by the sinister force within the mansion. Haunted by relentless nightmares and plagued by a growing obsession, Emily became a mere shell of her former self. She barely ate, surviving on a diet of coffee and fear. Her appearance grew haggard, and she became fixated on the enigmatic entity she sought to understand. One moonlit night, as Emily ventured deeper into the mansion, she discovered a hidden chamber beneath the main hall. In its center lay a mysterious, ancient tome with pages filled with arcane symbols and demonic sigils. Unable to resist its allure, she reached out and touched the book. An intense surge of energy coursed through her veins, and the entity seized the opportunity to possess her weakened soul. Her eyes glowed with an unnatural hue, and a sinister smile spread across her face. Emily's body was no longer her own. She had become a vessel for the malevolent force that had lurked within the Devil's Den for centuries. The entity reveled in its newfound freedom, using Emily's body to unleash terror upon the world. The possessed Emily wreaked havoc on the nearby town, her actions driven by the dark entity's malevolence. The once tranquil town was now plagued by eerie occurrences, unexplained deaths, and restless spirits. As the town descended into chaos, a group of paranormal investigators arrived to unravel the mystery behind the Devil's Den. Armed with an array of supernatural artifacts and ancient knowledge, they ventured into the mansion, unaware of the evil that awaited them. Inside the mansion, the investigators encountered the possessed Emily. Her eyes, now void of all humanity, sent a chill through their bones. The entity toyed with them, manipulating their deepest fears and darkest secrets, leaving them paralyzed with terror. Yet, within the depths of Emily's consciousness, a glimmer of her former self remained. She fought tirelessly to regain control of her body and free herself from the entity's clutches. The battle between good and evil raged within her, manifesting as a gruesome struggle for dominance. In a desperate act, Emily's consciousness managed to reach out to one of the investigators, a psychic named Grace. With tears streaming down her possessed face, Emily pleaded for help. Guided by the haunting pleas of Emily's trapped soul, Grace invoked ancient rituals to exorcise the malevolent entity. The mansion trembled with fury, and the air crackled with energy as the battle for possession intensified. Grace's strength waned, and she felt her own soul being drawn into the abyss. But just as it seemed the entity would claim another victim, Emily's soul surged with newfound determination. With a final burst of strength, Emily banished the malevolent entity from her body, severing its connection to the physical world. The mansion trembled one last time, and an eerie silence settled upon the devil's den. As the dust settled and the night's darkness receded, Emily awoke to find herself surrounded by the worried faces of the investigators. The ordeal had left its mark, but she was free, her spirit and soul were her own once more. The Devil's Den, no longer a dwelling for malevolence, stood silent and defeated, its secrets buried within its walls once again. Emily, having learned the dangers of meddling with the unknown, vowed never to pursue such dark mysteries again. The legend of the Devil's Den would forever echo in the hearts of those who survived the harrowing tale. And though the mansion remained standing, it would forever serve as a reminder that some mysteries were best left unexplored, for the darkness that lurks in the shadows may awaken with a thirst for possession.